Hey guys, I am live with you and I am going to do something that I've never done before. I don't know if anybody's watching yet, so maybe I'll give it a second for a couple of people to come on. What I'm going to do here today is I'm going to divide some Dahlia tubers, and I've never done this before. I tried last year to divide them, and I did it in the fall before they had the little eyes on them, and they never came back. So I had to replant all of my dahlia seeds. This was kind of painful for me because these were dahlias that I had grown for edibility, and I had tested them in that season and found some that I really liked. So fortunately, I'd saved some seeds from those, and I was able to propagate something very similar, and actually, I think a little bit better. So these dahlia tubers that I've got here that I'm going to divide today are actually the children of the original one that I liked the flavor of, and this one, when I tested it last fall, the flavor was really actually pretty good, very close to a Jerusalem artichoke, not stringy at all, very crisp, kind of the texture of a water chestnut. So anyway, I think there's somebody out there who might be watching, and so I'd like to say hi to you, and feel free to say hi back. This is the first time I've done any live streaming, so I don't expect a whole lot of people here, but it's good to see you here. So I'm going to proceed and take these dahlia tubers out of this pot, and we're going to see how this goes, because like I said, I've never done this before, but we're going to divide tubers, dahlia tubers, live streaming. So if it goes wrong, no hiding it. All right, so I have a sort of a second pot you can't see here I'm using to kind of empty these into. You'll see that, oops, this is a little bit rooted already. I took these out a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to see the eyes on them. I wanted them to pop before I started dividing. All right. I think I just knocked one of the eyes off. I should probably put my glasses on for this because my eyes aren't what they used to be. All right. Yeah, I knocked one of them off, but it's still got a little bit left, and I think that'll do just fine. At least we know that that's a growth spot. So it's a little bit of a challenge to remove this dirt, and I'm doing it really carefully because I don't want to harm the roots too much, although I probably just need to. I can't really believe how much these have rooted here. Hasn't been too long since I put them in this. I seem to be very happy in it. All right. So let me show you what I've got so far. So you can see my dahlia tubers, and you can see those things coming off of them are the little buds that tell me exactly where I want to preserve. I need to keep these buds attached to at least one tuber. So that's kind of the goal here today. And this is a very tight clumping variety. So as you can see, they're really, really tight together. So separating them, I was afraid to do it last fall because, like I said, the year before when I did it, I messed it up. All right. I'm going to try and get a little closer here for you so you can see what's going on here. All right. Tilt the camera down. So here you have the clump of tubers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tubers together. And like I say, they're all very tight. I want to make sure that when I split this, I keep each of these little buds attached to at least one tuber. So that's the goal here. It's kind of like a game. This knife I'm using is a knife that I inherited from my great uncle. He carried it through the First World War. It's kind of got an interesting backstory to it. It's funny, I see people doing this on other YouTube videos and make it look really easy, and they seem to do it like they just don't care. Now, this is a very precious clump to me, so splitting this like this is, for me, it's really stressful business. I'm probably going to cut myself trying to preserve the bulb. There, I just knocked off one of the little buds, but I think that that's actually okay. All right. So I managed to get one of these things free. It's got a little bit of a bud on it, so I think that's going to be just fine. And it looks like the rest of them just came loose, and the rest of the buds are attached to this one tuber. So what I'm going to do with these is I am imagining that these are probably going to create a few more buds before they're done. So I'm going to put them right back into the soil like this. We're just going to hope for the best. Those. So now I'm going to keep the other two, obviously, as well as possible for the next month or so, because it's still a little cold here. So I'm just burying them back into the soil here. Probably divide these a little bit later. I mean, when I say divide, I'll probably put them into different pots a little bit later, but for now, I just want to get them back into the soil, keep them happy. Now it looks like I've got at least two. I'm rather hoping that this one will also pop out a few more buds, because these are still attached to the original stalk. I think they might, now that they're separated from these two. Here. So that is the scoop. And I think I did this successfully because, as I was saying, I've seen other people do this on other YouTube channels, and they just hack away at these things. They don't even seem to care. So I don't know if it's because they have more dahlias and so it's not such a big deal for them, or if it's perhaps that the dahlia is a little bit more resilient than I imagine. But the thing is that when I did this before, I did it in the fall, and I just pulled the tubers off, put them in soil, and thought that was going to be good enough, and it wasn't even close. They never created sprouts, because you really need to get if you're going to do it in the fall, you really need to split the stalk into sections and just take your tubers, with just a little bit of the stalk, just to make sure that you get that growth, that place where you're going to start seeing the buds the coming spring. Anyway, I will put this video up on YouTube in a day or so. I don't know, it might just go up automatically. I've never done this streaming thing before, so who knows? But really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel and give me the thumbs up on this. Nice to be able to actually do this live for at least one or two people, and hopefully I'll do this again soon. Maybe I get a bit more of a crowd if I tell people in advance if that's what I'm doing. Anyway, thank you so much for following, and you can check me out on foodforestgardenclub.org, my contact form at the bottom if you got any questions. All right, thank you so much. Have a great day.